So we're just about to get on the boat ride to go to Yasuni National Park.
Adventure!
I thought the grasshoppers in Arizona were weird. Probably the coolest looking mushroom I've ever seen. Wow. So this is the third tarantula I think I've seen since we've been here. We got here yesterday. So we've now been in Yasuni for one day. We've just done a lot of like touring around. There's some tour groups that are going around and we've just kind of been joining them. We went to the national park and kind of walked around for a bit and saw some parrots at the salt licks, so that was really cool. I got to see some of the blue-headed parrots, which we were working with in Arizona, so I really liked that. And then we just went for a walk down the jungle and I saw a gigantic snail, which I've decided to call the gigantic jungle snail. The cat and the monkey. So it was pouring rain this morning and they said you can wait a little bit before you go to the school because otherwise you'll get soaking wet. So we waited a bit till the rain, you know, went down from torrential downpour to just still quite raining. And we walked to the school and they're like, yeah, so if it's raining really hard the kids don't come. And we're like, well, what do we do? So there was still some of the kids that were there And so I asked one of the teachers that had showed up if we could play a game with the kids. And they're like, yeah, sure. So I went up to a group of 5 girls and I'm like, hey, you guys want to play a game? And they looked at me and they're like, yeah? And so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, all right, let's ask the other kids. So we went around to the school and found kids that were there and got like probably a group of like at least 30 kids of all ages from like 6 to like 15. I was like, all right, let's play a game. So we played, What Time Is It, Mr. Wolf? And we also played Duck, Duck, Goose, except I didn't know the word for goose, so we played Duck, Duck, Chicken. So somewhere here in the middle of Ecuador, there's a group of kids who played Duck, Duck, Chicken, which is kind of awesome. But yeah, I think they had a lot of fun, and you know, it gave them something to do while they're waiting for the rain to stop, so it was pretty cool. Oh, speaking of chickens, this just happened from this morning. It used to be like a nice lawn. Yeah, there's our tent things. This is the room we're staying in. There's the view from our window. This is the living room area. There's little cabins that the tourists stay in. Here's the sink. Looking at the sink, you can see the water tower. And then we've got 2 showers. And both are pretty much the same. And 2 bathrooms with actual flush toilets. Now we're going to the kitchen. There's our kitchen area. Oh, there's a chicken in the kitchen! Look, 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 what are you doing in the kitchen, silly chicken? Yeah, you don't want to be in here. Yeah, I know, you're panicking now. Oh my goodness. How did you get in here? What are you doing in the chicken in the kitchen? There you go. I know that was scary, wasn't it? Yeah, you shouldn't have been in the kitchen. This is Sophia. She's a spider monkey that they got from across the river. Her mom had been killed and they took the baby in. We've been telling them to bring her to an animal sanctuary soon. And they're going to be contacting actually Marizonia, and hopefully they'll be able to either bring her there or they'll be able to tell the people where is a good place to bring her, because she's getting to the age that she should be integrated with a group really soon. Sophia's hobbies include climbing all over everything, spending time in her hammock, and eating lots of papaya. Is that your hammock? Yeah. So this morning before we go to school or to class, we're going to try to get a papaya. So there's the papaya trees, and we're gonna try to get one. Oh, there you go. We got a papaya. Woo, winners. So after my first night here, I decided to count how many bug bites I had, and the grand total was 41, which is pretty ridiculous. And Steve has so far had a total of 0 on this trip, which is insane because there are so many insects here. And he's had maybe a grand total of 7 in the whole like 3 months that we've been traveling, which is very not fair. Weird mushroom thingy number 37. These ones are really little. Look at them. This is the tiniest little frog. It's got to be about the size of my pinky nail. That's ridiculous. He's letting me get really close because he thinks he's invisible. Silly frog, I can see you. That's a pretty butterfly. Today is the day of tiny brown frogs. I probably almost stepped on this guy. I wouldn't have seen him if he hadn't hopped. There's so many different kinds of mushrooms. It's very interesting. How many mushrooms are on this bog? 1, 2, 3. I think these mushrooms are like the coolest little mushrooms. Yeah, this is an interesting little termite tunnel. You don't often actually see the termites, you often just see the little nests that they have. So that's kind of cool. That's the tunnel there. So right next to the path we were walking on, the river became a sandbar. So we, of course, decided to walk down on it. Steve thought it was a bug. And then I said, no, that's a frog. But that's fair because it is very tiny. It is bug-sized. Or I guess normal bug size. It's not jungle bug size. Jungle bugs are big. I mean, how cool is this? Interesting. It's just like growing right off of that tree. This is cool too. It's like a little leaf ladder. Whee! Just sliding down. Whee!
Go to the jungle.
Yeah. Jorge. So we're gonna go do our laundry. I picked up our laundry bag and there's a little frog hiding underneath it. Happy dog. So this is a gigantic bullet ant. He's got something to tell you. Look at those mandibles. Oh my gosh. So we're in the jungle and it's Easter, so we've decided to hard boil some eggs and we're gonna put some stickers on them and then hide them, and then we're gonna do our own Easter egg hunt. So Steve just hid the eggs and we're gonna go look for them. ¿Alguno? Ya. Ah, qué bueno. Ah, chévere. Cuidado. Qué bueno. ¿Alguno? So we just finished our Easter egg hunt and we took turns and like re-hid the eggs just because there was only 9 eggs, and then it made it more fun because then everyone got to hide and everyone got to look. But they had a lot of fun and I had fun, so that was good. Happy Easter! Happy Easter, little monkey. Eso es el más pequeño mono del mundo.
¿Sí?
This is the smallest monkey in the world. Wow. He's watching you. Like, that's hilarious how ridiculously small that monkey was. There are snails in the jungle that are bigger than that monkey was. That's insane. Jungles are crazy. Oh my goodness, there's a green anaconda right there. I am shaking. It's just a small one, like its head's not too big, but still, wow. Oh, that's so cool. Oh wow. This is a coffee tree. This is where your coffee comes from. It's a pineapple plant. I've never seen like a real pineapple plant, like growing pineapples. That's pretty cool. How cool is that? Growing a pineapple. What did you say?
You're just hoping I fall.
No, I'm not. Good job. So we just taught class to the youngest group of kids who hadn't learned any English before. So we started with the alphabet, and I could tell they were really having difficulty remembering the letters. So then we broke it down into maybe about 6 letters, and I had them doing different actions. So A was jumping, B was crouching down, C was turning around, and they really seemed to enjoy that. So hopefully that helps them remember at least the first like 6 letters, and then, you know, next class then we'll kind of add on a little bit more, and hopefully by the end they'll be doing actions to all 26 letters of the alphabet. Yes, I found another giant jungle snail. This one's maybe about half, maybe a third the size of the other one that I found, and this one's not bright orange, but it's still pretty cool. So this is Martha the moth. While we were macheteing, I found her, and I saved her from getting macheted, and I just put her on my shoulder because that's a safe place for a little moth to hang out, and then I'll put her back in the trees when we're done. So we're planting these in the dirt, and then hopefully they make yucca. So one thing that we've had a lot of while we've been here in Yasuni is lemongrass tea. It's really delicious. They grow it right here.
Tanto sí necesitamos, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Ahí se le tapa y se le deja ahí.
Chévere.
Ahí.
What you reading? Is that a good one? Seems like the bullet ants have found our clothing. These guys are huge. I think they're probably at least an inch long. Maybe even an inch and a half. That's how big they are. What you guys gonna do? So on our first day here, they took us to this little lodge called Sani Lodge. We got in a boat, and then you had to get in a canoe and kind of go down the creek or river a little bit more. They told us that you can actually walk there and then just get in a canoe that they have as long as you bring your own paddle. So we're gonna go do that today. They said it's at least an hour to an hour and a half walk there, and then paddling for like at least another 10 minutes. Yeah, so this will be interesting to see how it goes, because when we get in a canoe, we will be paddling with a single paddle, and there's like caiman in the water, so should be interesting. More leaf cutter ants. There's the ones coming back with their loot and the ones going out to get some more. Okay, so we made it. It took us about an hour and a half, which was a lot longer than we thought we were doing, because we thought we were going at a pretty decent pace, but apparently it's a lot farther than we expected. But we made it, and now we're walking on the little boardwalk, and then we're gonna go do a canoe, and then we'll be at the lodge, and we'll have internet.
Land ho!
Not quite. This canoe is way too big for 2 people. This is ridiculous. It could be like a third or half the size and that would be fine. Yeah, I think we're through the hardest part now, so. I mean, this is beautiful. The reflection on the water, kingfishers and birds flying everywhere. Very pretty. We're almost there. We're gonna make it. At one point, I didn't know if we would, but we did. Well, not yet, but we're almost there. So I think that's pretty close. Alright, so we made it to Sandy Lodge. It was an hour and a half of walking through the jungle and then maybe like 20 minutes of walking on a pathway, 30 minutes of paddling in a canoe, which was very difficult. And we made it here, and their internet and their electricity is down. But you know, we got a cold beer and some juice, so worth it. Alright, we're on our way back. Goodbye, Sandy Lodge. It was very nice being in your residence for a whole hour and a half. Whew, wish it could have been longer. This has definitely been an experience, you know, canoeing down a piranha and caiman and anaconda infested waters. There's a kingfisher. Cool. We're just cruising, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a lot easier coming this way.
Yeah. Well, we made it. We are back at Llikchary. It took us only an hour and 40 minutes to come back from Sandy Lodge. That includes the canoe ride and the walking, which is 40 minutes faster than it took us to get there. I think also on the way there, you know, we were taking our time and we were looking at birds, and also we were working against the current for the boat, so that took a lot longer. So it was much faster this way, which I'm also glad for because we ended up having to walk in the dark for most of it. But we made it, and we did it, and it was neat. Would have been nice if they had internet, but oh well, what can you do? Yeah, you're totally a praying mantis. That's cool. There's this really weird looking ant right under this leaf. It's almost like the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man, that tree with the nests on it. That's pretty cool. So last night it was storming for what seemed like the entire night. Like so much lightning, so much thunder. Lightning was striking about every 3 seconds. But it wasn't just like a single flash, like a single lightning. It wasn't like a single lightning bolt. It was like the entire sky was lighting up. And just like trying to sleep with that made it a little difficult. And then it was just like raining and everything got like flooded. Like. He's got the weirdest head. So I just did a recount as to how many bug bites I currently have, like all over, and the grand total is 359 bites, which is pretty ridiculous, which makes sense as to why I have a hard time sleeping, because I'm so darn itchy. Ugh. It helps.
Come esto. Muy fácil.
Oh, hiya Gladys, how you doing? She didn't have a name, so I named her Gladys. So it's been almost 2 weeks since we planted the little yucca seeds, and they have started to sprout. We've actually got a pretty substantial little, like, tiny tree right here. So that's pretty cool. So we've just finished our 4 weeks here at Llikchary Institute. We were teaching English as well as helping cut trails. Now, I think for me, my favorite part was just seeing the different animals. We got to see a couple anacondas, some different snakes, a whole bunch of really cool birds, and the giant jungle snail was definitely one of my favorites as well.